So starting the recording. And again, good to see everybody and thanks for joining me. So today we're going to do a little bit of focus and concentration similar. I know some of you were in the class called Focus. We're going to start with just a little bit of that practice similar to that, not the one that we did in the class. And I have another, we're going to actually try to fit 3 in today. So it'll be a lot of meditation today. The middle one will be on kind of the self-criticism that we sometimes bring up even during our meditation. And the last one will be, that's why I call it To the Mountaintop. The last one will be called, it's based on the work of Vidymala Burch, and it's called Body Like a Mountain, Heart Like an Ocean, Mind Like the Sky. So we'll finish with that. So anyway, going forward, I've been listening to a few off of 10% Happier, and I know some of you use that app, and it's I always find it quite good. The other app that I use a lot is Healthy Minds, and that's also 10% Happier does have a subscription fee. Healthy Minds does not, so you might want to check that out. But anyway, this idea of, we feel like we have ADHD these days with all the various distractions around us. And I know I've talked about this before: volatility, uncertainty, complexity, and ambiguity, which are all very good descriptors of the way we feel, going through COVID. So if you've been feeling overwhelmed or unfocused, if you've struggled with staying on task or have been blindsided by emotions during this time, we all have. And it's because of all these things, they really erode our ability to stay focused. And so the class that we finished before I left, called Focus, was based on a book called Peak Mind. In fact, I'll show you that. We have a workshop coming up with the author of that next week. But to start off, I wanted to do a concentration practice. So it's a little bit like the focus practice. It's also from 10% Happier, one of their instructors, Jeff Warren. So let's begin the first meditation just to kind of get ourselves oriented and gathered and leave behind all the stuff you've been working on. And just kind of, this is really considered a foundational skill of meditation, right? Being able to concentrate and focus. So let's just begin by finding a comfortable position. You can take a couple of deep breaths and just really simply feel the breath entering and exiting the body. You can close your eyes if you like, or you can keep them slightly open. It's your choice. And as you inhale, allow the spine to stretch up a little bit, increasing your sense of alertness. And as you exhale, allow the body to settle and soften, especially around the shoulders and the jaw and the brow and the hands. And check in with your attitude. Just notice what your attitude is right now. And see if you can just sit in a way that's relaxed and open. So bringing your attention to the breath, just letting the breath be normal. Just be curious about it. What does it feel like right now? Having an attitude of enjoyment. Allowing the breath to let us just rest in this sense of ease and enjoyment. So as a way to help us concentrate, you might use the notation, the mental notation, in and out. So in on the in breath and out on the out breath. And just try this for a while and see, just do this as a way to stay on track. And of course, anytime that your mind gets distracted or you become lost in thought, Don't give yourself a hard time about that. That's part of the practice. When you notice that, just bring your attention back to the breathing of in and out. So let's just do that in silence for a moment or so. As your target of focus, you can also use your body as an anchor or a sensation. So you might feel your feet on the ground or the body sitting in the chair. That's another option. Instead of focusing on the breath, sometimes it's helpful to do that. So you might try that for a moment, just focusing on the feeling of the body, the anchor of the body as it sits. And coming back to this if and when you get distracted. And remembering it is normal for all sorts of thoughts and sensations to come up. Noticing, where has my mind been? This concentration is about commitment, so recommit to your object of focus, whether it's the breath or the body. And just concentrate in a very gentle way. And if it feels like you're straining, just see if you can relax the face and the body. And allow everything to be still, which can give you a clearer picture or signal in a sense. And then just kick back for a moment or so and just rest in this awareness. You don't have to do anything particular right now. No focus is necessary. Just rest for the moment. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes and begin to move a little bit, stretch if you like, and we'll finish that beginning practice. So thank you. And again, that's just a way to kind of remember that the focusing or the concentrating is such a foundational practice of our meditation. But as I say that, part of what we do is we can sometimes tend to be, we critique ourselves. Are we doing this right? Are we breathing right? Are we getting to some special place or not? And it's really not about that, it's not, we're not trying to get to some special place. But before I kind of go into that, just reminding you, it's sort of like the flashlight practice that we practiced in the focus class. If you like that image, you can imagine shining a flashlight on the breath or on a part of the body. It's just a way to kind of, like using the in and out kind of focusing, is the way to kind of keep ourselves focused. And that's from Peak Mind, which is the book, and this is the coming up next week is our Smileless Wellness Workshop, and I'll send this out, but I'm also going to send an email out. But if you haven't seen this already, if you want to sign up, there is a link, and it's, as you can see, June 16th, a week from Thursday, from 4 to 5:15 in Amishi Jha PhD, is our speaker. She's the author of the book. So really looking forward to hearing her present, and I'll be moderating that. So hope you can join us. Now, I put this up here because I think, therefore, I'm dangerous. And we know that sometimes we feel like thinking gets in the way, and we think that we should not think during meditation. But as we know, that's really impossible. You can't stop thoughts. Thoughts just keep getting generated all the time by an active mind. And but we can sort of slow things down a little bit, and it helps to kind of have a still mind and a still body. But thinking will always come up. So part of what we are trying to do with this is to notice if we are being critical of ourselves. I mean, that's sort of one of the unhelpful attitudes if we're not being kind of kind or friendly to ourselves, especially during meditation. And as we know, part of what we learn in meditation is that those patterns of thoughts and those ways that we treat ourselves, and we see some of the patterns that emerge, the insights that we have. So remember, this is all about insight. Those are the things that play out in our daily lives. So whatever you notice. And so that's why we always say, kind of remember to be kind to yourself, because it's not about beating yourself up. It's not about trying to get someplace different or special or, any of that. It's really about noticing some of those attitudes. And that's the judgmental part of it. We tend to have judgments about all sorts of things, about ourselves and the world around us. So that's where our thinking gets dangerous. And we can sort of begin to notice that in a meditation. So the second meditation today is also from 10% Happier. So I want to give credit to them. And this particular meditation is called Criticizing Your Meditation. And it's by Sebene, how do you say her name? Sebene, that's it, Sebene Selassie. And she's great. She's one of the instructors on that app. So she's got a lot of good stuff. But as an intro, she says we have a tendency to think of meditation as another thing to get wrong. And we sometimes beat ourselves up about that. And this is an opportunity to kind of loosen this up. And she says, at first I was convinced in the beginning of her practice that she was doing it all wrong, that she wasn't reaching this special state or a special way to be or place. But this is really about meeting whatever is happening, even difficult thoughts or emotions, with curiosity and kindness. And then we'll be better at meeting those moments in life and in ourselves with more ease too. So let's do the meditation and give it a try. So again, find a comfortable posture and settle into the body. Take a moment to let your body be at rest. Let your breathing be natural. Finding that good, comfortable, balanced position for yourself. Closing your eyes or keeping them slightly open, whichever you prefer. You might take several full breaths, and as you breathe out, just release gently. Allow yourself to be still. And to simply notice what's happening in the body. There's no need to make something happen or to get somewhere. Just meet it as it is. We've become human doings instead of human beings. So in this meditation, simply allow yourself to be and welcome what is here. Now remember, meditation is an opportunity to cultivate a more easeful relationship to any moment. We're not trying to get somewhere called peace. We're inviting peace to every moment. Like Martin Luther King said, peace is not the destination. Peace is the way. Try bringing the slightest smile to your mouth. This releases neurochemicals into the bloodstream, relaxes the body, lowers the heart rate and blood pressure. And we're countering the tendency to be in contention or tense in the moment. You can imagine that you're welcoming this moment as if you're just saying welcome or yes to whatever is here. Try this on your own for a bit, welcoming each moment, continuing to smile. Of course, you'll get distracted or lost in thought or even irritation. And remember, this isn't a problem or a mistake. Just try to meet whatever is happening with an attitude of friendliness and kindness. Now begin to listen to the play of sounds around you. Those that are near or far, loud or soft. Just listen. You don't need to do anything. Just listen in spacious awareness. And notice how all sounds arrive and vanish, leaving no trace. So just listen for a time on your own in this relaxed, open way. Even if it's very quiet where you are, just listen to the silence. You may still notice the judging mind. Some part of you may still think you're doing something wrong. See if you can smile at this. And see if you can include gratitude for this opportunity. You might feel this as an overall attitude, or you can silently say thank you for this opportunity to practice. So take a few moments on your own, simply resting in this awareness and appreciation. Noticing whatever is here in the moment. Sensations, thoughts, feelings. Just with an open awareness, simply noticing. Most of us have learned to be hard on ourselves by not measuring up to expectations of life. But meditation is one of the best places to unlearn this tendency. we can learn to let go of the idea of we're supposed to have a good meditation, or there's something wrong if we have a bad one. Instead, try to focus on being with whatever is happening with more spacious awareness. All right, great job. So you can begin to open your eyes now as we finish the meditation, and feel free to move your hands and feet and let yourself connect to your surroundings as we end this meditation. And thank you for your practice. Okay, so let me just check in. How are we all doing? Just kind of open up for, we've had a couple of meditations already. I have one more for us, but how's it going? Any questions, comments, thoughts about either the meditations that we're trying, or how it's going for you with your own practice, or challenges or successes? Anybody have anything they'd like to share? Or question, whatever.
Bud, Bruce.
Hey, Bruce.
Been away from it for a while and getting back into it for various reasons. But yeah, somewhat, I guess you would say challenging, but the more you focus on, I tend to do my breath. The more you do that, and then you forgive yourself, you go back to it because you drift, and you go back and back. And as you go, you don't drift as much, and then you start to hear the other, at least I start to hear the other sounds around. Then I'm kind of where I want to be. So.
Okay, good. Yeah, I mean, that's, as you say, and we do drift away from it at times. I do myself, it was challenging while I was away to have, regular practice that I normally do. So I had to kind of really improvise. And now that I'm back, trying to get back into my old way of what I was doing. But what's cool about it is you can really start fresh anytime. It's sort of like riding a bike. You don't really lose the skill. It's easy to do. What's harder is to have some sort of a regular frequency of practice. So remember, we've talked about having informal practices as well. So trying to just continue to do this as you move throughout the day too. In fact, that reminds me, the opening meditation I did from Jeff Warren, he also has one where he try to remember the title of it, but it's under the individual meditations. I can send it out later. But he talks about the idea that he struggles himself with ADHD, and so what he's learned to do is bring meditation practices into his movement. So it's not just about simply sitting still all the time, but being mindful and incorporating that into everything that we do as much as you can. So that's another way to think about it. But thank you, Bruce, for those comments. And yeah, you really touched on the idea of focusing and refocusing. And as I started off with, there's all those things that pull our attention in so many ways these days. And I hear that time and time again from so many people. There's just so many distractions. But I got a couple of comments here. Always good to recenter with you, even with our own practice. Thanks, Jim. Paul says needed a break, feeling better. Yeah, this is just a good break. Great meditation. Struggle a little with distractions. Yep, there's always going to be distractions. Feel calm and focused. Feel better. Really needed that. Good, relaxed. I'll try to remember to send the slides out to make sure you all have these too. All right, so any other thoughts, comments, questions? Anyone has? It's okay if you don't, but if you do, just kind of want to open it up, see if there's any questions. All right, so the next one that I want to lead you through before we close is called Body Like a Mountain, Heart Like the Ocean, and Mind Like the Sky. And it's based on the work of Vidymala Burch, who also has an excellent website. And she also has some, I know she has some things on Insight Timer, which is another good app that I would recommend. And you can search for her on there, or just if you just Google her, she has a great website with a lot of good stuff. And she works actually with pain. That's one of her specialties in a sense, dealing with pain. She has chronic pain from her own history, and so it's really an interesting way if you think about trying to really accept things as they are. I mean, it's probably one of the more challenging ways when there's constant pain. So check her out if that's something you want to look into more. That picture on the left there, that is an actual picture when I was up in that Mount Blanc. People were out there climbing and skiing, and it was really incredible to watch people. We were just looking from the observation decks. We weren't that brave, but it was really cool to watch people out there doing their thing. So this meditation, I like this incorporates imagery. And if you remember, if you were in one of my original classes, there's a meditation called the Mountain Meditation. And so it uses a little bit of imagery like that. And the idea that we can learn to be still and stable and sit like a mountain, no matter what's happening around us. It's sort of like the idea of the eye of the hurricane. We can find a way to be calm and still within the eye of a hurricane while there's winds and a hurricane going on around us. But the mountain image is kind of nice too. And the idea that even though there are always changes in our world, the mountain is pretty stable. It's probably one of the more stable things that in our world, right? And I got to experience that firsthand in the French Alps. But then the rest of it, as you'll see, talks about the heart can be like the ocean and the mind like the sky, and we'll see how that imagery works. So let's do the third and final meditation. And again, I'll encourage you to take a moment to just find a position that's balanced and comfortable for yourselves. Maybe taking a full, deeper breath again. On each out breath, allowing yourself to arrive in this position. Feeling the points of contact of your body with the chair. Breathing a few more deep breaths, letting the body give up to gravity. And making sure the air flows all the way out on the out breath. And then just resting as you allow the breathing to find its own rhythm and pace. So we're looking for flexibility in our embodied physical experience and a sense of stability and groundedness and presence. And so one way to do that is allowing our body to be like a mountain, stable and grounded, yet breathing and flexible. Rest inside stability and at the same time be open to flexibility. As you sit here, letting an image form in your mind's eye of a magnificent, beautiful mountain. One you've seen or you can imagine, and just let it gradually come into focus and clarity. Letting the feeling of its overall shape and magnitude form. Seeing its lofty peaks high in the sky, and a large base rooted in bedrock in the Earth's crust. It has steep or gently sloping sides And just notice how massive it is, solid and unmovable. How beautiful it is from afar or up close. Simply observing it, noticing its qualities. Now, with each breath, becoming a little bit more like a breathing mountain, alive and vital, yet unwavering in inner stillness, a centered, grounded, unmoving presence. Through all the changes, all the seasons, the mountain just sits. It remains still as the seasons flow from one to the other and as the weather continually changes. And in the same way, as we sit in meditation, we learn to experience the mountain. We can embody the same stillness and groundedness in the face of everything that changes in our own lives. We experience storms of varying intensity. And by becoming the mountain in our meditation practice, we can link up with its strength and stability and adopt them for our own. We can use its energy to support our energy to encounter each moment with mindfulness and clarity. Next, we become aware of our emotional life and the sense of our heart like an ocean. So we bring our attention to the heart area, tuning into our emotional weather. What's the broad feeling tone for you now? Might be peaceful, might be sad, you might feel relief at being still, whatever it is. If our emotions feel intense, it's sort of like as we put food coloring into a glass of water. You can see the intensity. But if we place the same amount into the ocean, we can't even detect it. So see if we can release into this very broad perspective, heart like an ocean. And if our emotions create some waves or turbulence, you can always throw out an anchor to steady or calm yourself. Just feel the breath again. Breathe deeply. Let the out breath be long and empty all the air so that the next breath comes naturally. The waters may still be choppy, but your anchor keeps you steady and less tossed about. Next, we turn to our mind like the sky, letting our mind's awareness be vast, limitless, and boundless, like a clear blue sky. Letting thoughts flow through this boundless awareness, like clouds, they come and they go. Imagine now that you're on top of a mountain. Feel the texture of the ground. It's made of earth and stone, unshakable, firm, and solid. You're anchored on this mountain with your body and your mind. Breathe in deeply. Feel the cool, clear mountain air fill your lungs. Let that air fill your whole body, filling it with light, peace, and calmness. And look out at the sky. It is blue, cloudless, and perfectly clear. All you can see in any direction is boundless, deep blue sky. It's pure and empty. And as you look into the sky, feel your mind expanding and emptying into the vast open space. All of your thoughts and emotions dissolve into the vastness. Your mind is clear, empty, and as vast as the sky. And just rest in the stillness. Now let's be aware of all these dimensions at the same time. Body like a mountain, stable and grounded. Heart like the ocean, vast and deep. Mind like the sky, boundless and clear. Letting all of your experience arise and pass, moment by moment, without getting so caught up in it. Now paying particular attention between the body and the floor and the chair beneath you, feeling into these sensations, grounding yourself, recentering yourself. And when you're ready, you can feel free to move the body, open the eyes, and stretch if you want to, and see if you can form an intention to take this kind of awareness into your day. Body like a mountain, heart like an ocean, mind like the sky. All right, thank you. Thank you for your practice. Let me know if you have any thoughts or reactions to that one. I like that one myself. So that's it for today, folks. I see some of the chats coming in. Yep, thank you all. Good. Thank you for coming today. Want to remind you about we have our meditations on the EFR website. These are the apps I mentioned. Healthy Minds is the other one. And I put a lot of this stuff on YouTube, so you want to kind of go there for any refreshers. There are things there as well. So thanks, everybody. Any last thoughts or questions before I let you go? Thank you all. See your thanks coming in. Appreciate it. Yeah.
Thank you, Bud. We feel relaxed going back to work now.
Good. Very good. So yeah, question, is the author of Peak Mind going to be recorded? Yes, that will be recorded. And that gets put on the integrative medicine website under Smilo. That's where they post those. So if you have trouble finding that, just let me know and I can connect you with that afterwards. It's usually a couple of days after the recording, so it'll go up there. But I think it usually has to be edited. So great. Any other questions? Hope you can join us for that one on Thursday, or if you can't, you can watch the recording. It's also a very good book, that Peak Mind. All right. Thanks for joining me.
Thanks,
Have
Bud.
a great day, everybody.
Thank you,
good care.
Bud.
All righty. Thank you.
Bud, will you be sending out an email in regards to that?